Welcome to QTV number 12, how to use a nested filter in a query. So a nested report filter contains one or more filters with the AND or operators. It's basically a filter within a filter. So we're back here at the ACE Reports landing page, which should be pretty familiar by now. So most of the concepts from here on forward are actually going to be done using the Adhoc environment. So let's go ahead and select that Create Adhoc Report button. And once we're here, we'll go ahead and select the Training Universe as our universe. I'm going to go ahead and name the report Nested Filters and then give it a brief description to describe this current lesson. Alright, and once I finish that, I'm going to go ahead and select the Create Adhoc button. And it's going to take us to that report screen. And pop quiz, what's the first button that we select here? Yes, that is correct. We click on the Design View button. Alright, and once we're in here, we're going to go ahead and use the shortcut to get to the query panel. And hopefully by now we're very comfortable morphing the query panel window. I'm going to go ahead and expand my query filters and result objects, and then I'm going to go ahead and expand my universe outline. Alright, so in a second I'm going to get into the actual use case for having a nested filter, but let's go ahead and first set up a structure for the report. So I'm going to go ahead and drag in HTS number full and number of entry lines. So what is the number of entry lines associated with each unique combination of port of entry code and HTS number full? And for my scope, I'm going to go ahead and drag in entry date and give it a quick between operator. And we'll just go ahead and say for the beginning date from July 1st up until today. Alright, time for the use case. So, hypothetically, I'm trying to find all tariffs in Chapter 52, Subheading 1, as well as additional U.S. Note number 2. So you'll see that in Subheading Note 1 we have the 6-digit what's commonly termed the harmonized system code, and then down in additional U.S. Notes number 2 we have the chapter-subchapter combination 5205 and 5206. So let's say that in this scenario that I wanted to pull in any HTS number that actually fell within either that chapter-subchapter or that harmonized system code. So for the first item, subheading 1, I know that I can find this harmonized system code in the HTS number first 6 object. Let's go ahead and drag that and bring it into our query filters. And when I do that, you'll see that the HTS number first 6 object is going to nest with the entry date object with an AND operator. And let's go ahead and choose that Define Filter Type button and select Values from List. And remember, I can use that search bar in the bottom left-hand corner to find values that I partially know. So for the first value, I'll type in 5209 and I'll hit Search. And remember, if I choose the column at the top, it's going to put these items in numerical order for me. Alright, so I've got my first value, 520942. And let's just go ahead and type out the entire number for the second option. And that's 521142. There it is. Alright, and once we're done, go ahead and select OK. So it's at this point that we actually use the nested filter. So if I were to run the query right now, it's going to give me values that have the entry date between 7/1/2016 and 8/4/2016 and have the first 6 digits of the HTS number being those values. We want to keep that condition of the date range having to be between 7/1/2016 and today, and then have all of the options available for the HTS numbers. So to account for this logical complex statement, I want to go here in the top right hand corner of the Query Filters section and select Add Nested Filter. And when I do this, you'll see that a new box appears in the Query Filters panel containing the operator OR. The part of my query that I want to actually have multiple values for is going to be the HTS number section. So let's go ahead and drag the HTS number first 6 onto that OR operator. You should see a red bar appear on the right side of the OR operator. And when you release, you'll see the HTS number first 6 object now appears in that OR statement. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up the filter for the items for additional US Note number 2. So the corresponding data element is going to be HTS number first 4. And when dragging that object over to the Query Filters panel, pay attention to the red line. Remember, I want to include this filter as part of the OR statement. So make sure when you release it that you're joining the two HTS number data elements. Let's go ahead and choose Define Filter Type for this HTS number object and then do Values from List. And we're looking for the values for 5205 and 5206. I'm going to go ahead and use a wildcard asterisk to find all the values that begin with 520. And then I'm going to go down and add the values that correspond to that US additional note number 2. Alright, select OK once you're finished. Alright, and that's it. I've created a nested filter. So if you look at the operators kind of closely, you can see that the OR statement is actually only applying to those HTS number objects, whereas the AND operator is applying to the entirety of the statement. So what it's basically saying is that the entry date must be between 7/1/2016 and today, and the HTS number first 4 can be 5205 or 5206, or the HTS number first 6 can be 520942, or 521142. So let's go ahead and select Run Query. And of course, remember a quick recap. The query is the set of instructions that we send to the database in order to retrieve the data, and the report's how we actually choose to display that data. So go to the Available Objects tab. I'm going to hold down Control, and the order that I actually choose my objects will actually determine how they appear from left to right in the table. And I'll drag those into the report. And that's it. I've used a nested filter inside my query. And that's going to be it for QTV number 12. Hopefully gives you a flavor for how advanced some of these further videos are going to be in the future. In QTV 13, we're going to be covering how to paste a list of values into the query filters from an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document.